tread softly over this Watch Dogs 2 news?
Yeah, I'll tread very softly. Watch Dogs 2 had a little bit of a mishap in one of their a streamer who was playing the game. I can't remember. Can you click on it? I can't remember if it was like during before the game was released. I think it was before the game was released.
I don't think it was a streamer. I think it was just a player.
Oh, it was just a player.
BBC News. What are you doing going to BBC News for all the time?
BBC News is the best. It's the British perspective. I get so tired of the American perspective on our own politics. It's also partisan. BBC doesn't care. Yeah, so essentially this game was discovered before the game was actually released, and this dude tweeted it out and talked about it. Essentially, if you killed a female character in Watch Dogs 2, and you...
Not any character, specific character. A specific...
No, it said any. Because what they said, the argument they said is that there are certain scenes in cutscenes or something where there is some nudity going on, and so the models have those parts on them, and so they just use those models for the basis for all of the characters.
Oh, maybe.
And so if you killed a female character, I mean, he only did to one. I guess we haven't tested it, and it's probably not going to work anyways because they've updated it probably by now.
They've patched it.
But you killed a character, you could look up her skirt, and there was stuff there. So, and that's what I got.
Genitalia stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not video game genitalia, the real stuff.
I mean, not the real stuff.
Obviously, digital version of the real stuff.
Yeah.
Which is awkward and kind of I mean, a lot of people were like, why does this matter? This is rated M game, and...
That was my first thought.
And it's adults playing
essentially this girl,
whatever,
the girl in the game,
yeah,
that he killed on accident.
Yeah.
He said he blew up a gas station on accident.
Yeah.
She was going commando to this today.
Yeah.
And I see the camp of why does this matter? Because there's nudity in this game.
Right. And it says there's a warning on it too. So it's, and I got the feeling that some people in media are like, oh man, you're killing girls. What type of game is that? You know,
standard game.
Standard media. People who don't play video games look on a game. So, to what extent does this matter? Not sure. But, either way, Ubisoft fixed it. So
see, the real thing about this whole situation that I don't understand is that this person that found it tweeted it from his PS4.
Yeah.
And when you tweet it from your PS4, it automatically hashtags PS4 share.
Yeah.
So it's all in trouble. It's all in one thing. And he got banned from PSN for a month.
Yeah.
Because he tweeted something that he found in-game.
Right.
I think that's more ridiculous than the fact that this girl was going commando.
I mean, but PS4 wouldn't want you to if there's a scene of nudity, they wouldn't want you to share that. There are terms of service for tweeting. It's in the terms of service, actually.
But not on Twitter.
Yeah, using the feature to share from your PS4, I think.
Nudity?
Yeah, there's it talks about it in the article. It gives you the position, but at least I think it does. Blocked it from my. Go back up for a second.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
All right. Either way, apparently Sony's argument was it was against the terms of service of using a PS4.
See, that's interesting as well.
Pages and pages of crap, so nobody ever reads it.
Because sometimes when you're recording gameplay from the PS4, it won't record specific types of game.
Right.
Now, obviously,
cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah, obviously this is different.
This is different because it's in game and it's probably not on purpose.
But I don't know. I still don't think.
But they did reinstate his account.
Yeah.
Within a day, I think. I can't remember exactly how long the time the past was, but they reinstated his thing. So he's actually not banned anymore. But it was a little bit of a hoo-ha for a while.
Literally.
Hoo-ha?
Quite the literal hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Now, I've been playing Watch Dogs 2.
You have.
I was a big proponent for Watch Dogs 1, despite all the flack it got.
All the flaws it had.
It was actually one of the games I bought it and played it and beat it before I checked any reviews.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this game was incredible. I had a lot of fun playing this game. And then I checked the reviews. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't like that. So now I have somewhat of a different opinion based on my first impression of it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the same thing with Watch Dogs 2. I'm avoiding all reviews. I'm trying to enjoy it purely as it is in my own head, in my own experience. And I'm having so much fun. The one thing I want to talk about specifically, and I'll talk about a few more things, is obviously it's an open world game and you have the police chase you and you're in car chases all the time.
Yeah.
One of the first hacking abilities that you unlock, because the game's about hacking, is you can hack cars in a way that either makes them turn to the left, turn to the right, accelerate, or go in reverse. So when the police are chasing you, you just hack their car, and their car either stops or you can like send them off of a bridge.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, this is so much fun. This is like
crazy.
The best police chase I've had since like GTA like refined it.
Yeah.
Right. So Watch Dogs 2 adds to an open world in so many different ways through hacking, to be able to hack things. The way you interact with the world in Watch Dogs universe is so different from every other one. But at the same time, the universe it takes place in, so San Francisco, kind of feels like... Sometimes it kind of feels like a shell of a more polished game like GTA 5, I would say. There are a few flaws, I think, that I've noticed. So you can always, like, profile people. So you kind of hack them to see what they're all about. So you can see their name, you can see their income, you can see what their profession is and what hobbies they have, or just funny things like that.
Yeah.
And then from there, you can choose to like steal money from them. You can choose to like have their phone go off so it distracts them. Or as an upgrade, you can choose to set a criminal record on them and have the police chase them down. So that was really fun because right before you got here, I was playing.
That's like the grenade in the pocket in Fallout games.
I was walking down the street and I was hacking people to see what they were about, and this guy was like an investment banker. And I walked a little bit too close to him and he like cussed me out. And
you're like, mother cusser? You're not cussing me out?
I looked at him and I stole his money from him. I hacked him and stole his money from him. I'm like, you know what? That's not enough. And then I hacked him and I had the police come and arrest him, and it was so funny because I think it's different every time, but this guy ran from the police instead of just like giving up. And so I'm like, this guy's definitely guilty of something. Yeah. He didn't get shot, but they did bring him down at gunpoint. And they walked him back to the car. But as soon as I got to the car, I hacked the car and made it run him over.
Oh my gosh, you killed him! Oh my gosh. That's so
don't ever talk to me like that again, guy.
Well, he can't. He's dead.
It was so awesome.
He has no chance.
But at the same time, it's really fun because every once in a while you see police. That was actually one of the first missions when I was out in the open world. It kind of took me by surprise, the liveliness of this universe.
Yeah.
I was like walking down the street and these police people like pulled somebody over in their car and took them out and like put them in the back of the car and like left. And that's something that needs to happen in all open world games at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was nice to see that happens.
Has to do with immersion, you know.
Yeah,
like you wanted to feel.
So it's a living, breathing city. So that was nice to see. But at the same time, later on in the game, I've seen them do this, and whenever they get out of the car, I always hack the car to make it go forward or backward without running into anybody.
Yeah.
And the police just kind of look around like dumbfounded.
They're like, what's happening?
And then they completely forget about their car and they just go about their business.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm like, that could be fixed.
They could program them to react a different way when...
That, and then also, like, sometimes... So I drive around a lot in this, because it's a big world, you have to drive... There's a lot of fast travel options, but I like to drive.
Yeah.
And I don't like it when people are in my way. So I do the Bruce Almighty.
Oh, yeah.
And I take all the cars in my lane and make them go to the right and left with my hacking ability.
Nice.
And sometimes they will run into like a wall, and there'll be people there that don't get hit, but they won't react to the car almost hitting them. And I'm like, that could be fixed. Like, it's so weird that happens. These are all really small things that I don't really have a big problem with. There's another small one where sometimes instead of hacking people for money, you can hack their phones and you can see what text messages they're sending to people, which are always really funny. Or you can listen to their phone calls, which are also really funny. And while you can hack their phone calls and you can see who they're talking to, sometimes the characters themselves already have audio cues before they're hacking. and those audio cues don't match up with the phone call conversations. So let's say I'm walking down the street and I bump into this guy, and or there's two people and I'm walking down the street and I hack one guy and I can see that I can listen to a phone call, but he's talking to somebody like right in front of him.
Yeah.
I can hear the conversations he's having with the guy right in front of him, but at the same time, if I hack the phone call, I'll hear him have a conversation with somebody else at the same time. So it'll be like two conversations going on at once. I'm I don't like that immersion so much. Like I feel like maybe that could have been fixed. Sometimes I hear people have the same conversation at different parts of the city. So two different characters will be having one conversation, and later on in the game I'll hear two other people have the same conversation.
Yeah, but that's hard to do. I mean, think how much recording you have to do to cover all the time that people playing the game.
Right.
But you'd hope that there'd be enough that you wouldn't notice, you know? I mean, I feel like that's more on them than on the consumer.
But I'm having a lot of fun. It's definitely it's in San Francisco, so instead of Chicago, where Chicago's like rainy and windy all the time, San Francisco's like bright and colorful.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. I'm not trying to necessarily go on a non-lethal playthrough. Yeah. But whenever I break into places, I try not to kill people.
Yeah.
Unless melee kills people, in which case I've killed 1,000 people.
Oh my God.
But I assume melee is like a...
Well, maybe he just takes the Batman approach, where you just leave them broken and bloody in the street.
See, that's the thing, because the first weapon you get is a stun gun. So you can stun people from a while away.
Yeah.
But eventually, they'll wake up from that. You melee people, they're out for the count. So I assume I'm just knocking them out.
Yeah.
I'm not actually killing them.
Do they move when they're on the ground when you knock them out?
No.
So
they're pretty steady.
They're probably dead.
I'm just assuming that they're unconscious.
Okay.
But at the same time, like...
Whatever you have to tell yourself.
The character... I have a disease, personally. Like, myself as the player. It's called humanity. I can't just kill people.
Yeah.
Without being, like... So if there's a gangbanger who's shooting at me, I'm like, okay, self-defense.
Yeah, dude,
or, this happened today. I'm trying to break into something, and I get really far, and then I lose. The next time when I load the checkpoint, I just kill everybody. Like, all right, I gave you guys a chance. Like,
yeah, we've talked about this phenomena before. We both struggle with the fact that I feel like my moral decisions in the game reflect on who I am sometimes, and so I always play light side first of everything, you know, or good side or whatever, because I always feel like I have to be good. And then sometimes I try and be bad, and then I feel bad when I play bad. I'm like, I don't like what I just did, so I usually don't finish the game on bad.
So I'm trying to play non-lethal, which is fun. You can do non-lethal. You can be sneaky and do all these sneaky things. You have an RC car that you can control. You also have a drone, a hover drone that you can control. The hover drone is mostly for scouting things. It can't actually hack anything, like physically. The RC car can hack things, but obviously it's a car, so it can't go to as many places as a drone.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. You get to upgrade these places. The main character himself, his name is Marcus, and compared to Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs 1, completely different. Totally different. He's more happy-go-lucky. He's younger.
Which makes sense with the climate, too, and like the beauty of the game, probably.
Yeah. But at the same time, that's one of the reasons why I don't feel like I can be lethal to people. Because I don't feel like he has it in him necessarily. Like, I don't know what training he has to be a killer. Whereas the first person, like... The whole point of the game is that his family was murdered. Yeah. So he can go and kill whoever he wants.
He's a very dark character.
He's very vigilante. Whereas this guy, Marcus, is just kind of trying to get at the man.
So not only are you as the player morally... You feel a little bit morally responsible, you also think the character that you're playing as wouldn't play that way. Yeah. Be that way in real life. If he was a real character. Interesting. That sounds like a fun character.
Maybe it will change later in the game. I'm not that far into it. I've been trying to do things. I need to mention, however, that the online functionality of the game has been down since launch.
Dang it.
And that is one of my favorite things in Watch Dogs. You can go into other people's games and hack them. Oh. And then after you hack them for a certain amount of time, it shows you where. It shows on their screen, it shows you where you are. And they have to try to like stop you from hacking them. So one of my favorite things is to hack someone and just hide, and just try to hide from them the whole time. Yep. That's always super fun for me. I did that in Watch Dogs 1 a lot.
I feel like you just giggle there. You're like,
yeah,
I'm behind the trash can. He doesn't see me.
On their screen, you look like an NPC. They can't tell that you're hacking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you just look like a standard person. But there's on the mini map, there's a radius that keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and you have to be in that radius in order to hack them.
Gotcha.
So eventually, you'll be like, okay, it's
within
one of
5
these
foot.
3 people.
Right.
Pop. But at the same time, it's just a lot of fun. Unfortunately, that's down right now. But you can still play the online missions. You just do it offline.
Gotcha.
So the online missions are still on the map. And you still go, and those are a lot of fun. The infiltration missions, like in this game, always have more fun than like going from like one part of the city to the next part. This is a Ubisoft game, so obviously there's a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah. There's tons of side quests, tons of ways. Are there? Do they still have that stupid like out of game currency that you can gain from playing their games?
I'd assume so, but it hasn't hit me over the head
Like
as much as it
I think
does.
it's like Uplay stuff.
Yeah, I think it's called Uplay as well, but it hasn't hit me over the head as much as
It has in the past.
in like Assassin's Creed.
Okay, good, because that stuff gets real annoying. Cool.
Anyway, this game is a lot of fun. I paid $60 for it. I got it the day after it came out. I don't regret that decision so far. I'm trying very hard to have fun with it. It's one of those games where you play it for a little bit. You play it for like 2 hours, maybe you take a break from it.
Yeah.
Just enough to wet your whistle, so you want to come back to it.
Yeah.
Some games you can play forever and ever and ever and always want to come back.
Yeah. True.
But this one I'm just kind of wetting my whistle.
So too early for a final. Review.
I guess.
I mean, and by final review, I mean telling us the actual value of the game with our dollars.
With our underpaid gamer dollars.
Our UPG dollars.
That's right.
Official bank of UPG.
That's right.
Cool.
So I'm having fun with it.
Awesome. Well, I've been playing 2 games. Battlefield 1 still. I've been getting a lot better at the game.
That's
so
good.
I'm like consistently like
Sniping those noobs.
getting my KD over 1.
There you go.
I was top 10 a couple times out of like 34 on my team, which is huge. But I keep playing with rifles a lot. I like rifles. It's fun. So it's been fun. And
the M1 Grand. How's the M1?
It's not in the game, bro. M1 Grand's in DOS. The Second World War.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not around yet. Springfield is. The sniper rifle that is in World War II.
Springfield, Illinois.
Same one from World War I. Just slap a scope on it. Which is
So you're playing Battlefield 1. Does that make you want to play Call of Duty World at War? Because that makes me want to play Call of Duty World at War.
World at War is a lot of fun. I like the game. Now I'm trying to draw comparisons between the campaigns of World at War versus Battlefield 1. Which one I like better?
Oh.
Right now I like Battlefield 1 better.
Yeah?
Just because I like the vignettes. I like that style, and I like that a lot of them seem to be based on actual stories. Like Lawrence of Arabia.
Arabian Nights.
Arabia, no. Yep. So that's the first game I've been playing. But we've been talking about that for a couple, I think 2 episodes I've mentioned it.
Yeah,
so
shut up.
I'm going to go ahead and just drop that one. If you want to hear more about my thoughts, I haven't come to a conclusion on the game yet, though I'm pretty close. Last episode I went into it a little bit more. I also downloaded the PlayStation Game of the Month.
Everyone's gone to the Rapture.
Everyone's gone to the Rapture, yeah. So it's a walking simulator. Don't have a lot of experience with them, other than Heavy Rain.
Not a walking simulator.
Oh, was it not?
I wouldn't call it one.
Okay. Other than nothing else, I don't do walking simulators, and so this is the first time.
You could have played Gone Home. That's a walking sim.
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
Or a semblance.
I tried to play.
You didn't finish Gone Home?
No, I played for like 30 minutes. I was like,
Gone Home's like a 30-minute game.
whoops. So it's a walking simulator. First thing I noticed is that they did a really good job with the scenery. It's very pretty game.
This is one of the games I heard about that was good, but it wasn't one of those games that stuck around as being very good.
Yeah.
But I still want to play it. And I downloaded it, and I plan on playing it.
The storytelling is really good. And the pace is pretty good. The thing that frustrates me about walking simulators is the time when you're walking. Like from place to place.
So the game play?
So no, I like the story part of it. It's just getting to the next story part.
Setting.
Because the way it works in this game is the whole thing is you follow the light and you find these places and everybody's gone. You just like...
To the Rapture.
Apparently. That's what they're calling it, I guess. I mean, they haven't called that in the game, but you start in front of this observatory, and then you go down in this town, and everyone's gone. And as you go around, there are like radio broadcasts and like recordings of people that you can listen to. Mm-hmm. And then as you come to some places, they have these like rewinds where you see like
the past.
White silhouettes of people, and it's like the past, and you start to hear about all these different characters in their lives, and you just keep going around and you discover more, and then you it goes down to one character being really important, and then you like walk through his story essentially, and then you see him get taken into the rapture or whatever it is,
to the alien spaceship.
Whatever it is. I mean, they don't know. They're analyzing it with like science in the game, so I'm still figuring out what it is. But it's really fun watching, like seeing the main characters develop and then see them die. Like how they get to that point is really cool. The first one was a priest, which is kind of funny. But I will say the music in the game I love.
Killer.
I love the music in this game because it's based on the Rapture. It's like they have all these themes of like church choir singing, but like classical like church music. So it's like kind of creepy sometimes too with it.
Good old Gregorian chants.
I haven't seen a Gregorian chant yet.
Halo theme.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, so good.
That's a Halo 2 guitar solo.
Yep. So yeah, it's a real fun game. I would suggest picking it up. I played it for about 4 hours. I played through, I think, 2.5 characters. I'm almost done with the third character. I don't know how many there are, so I don't know how far I am.
At least 3.
So at least 3 at this point. I'm guessing at least 4 based on the story, but I'm not going to say anything about that. So maybe if you're interested, you should give it a shot. Maybe we'll talk about it again in the future.
You saw a movie.
I did. I saw 2 movies.
An alien abduction movie.
I did. Oh my gosh.
Is it as good as everyone says?
It was really good.
What was it called?
Arrival. Amy Adams, and then the guy who plays Hawkeye. Sad that I don't remember his name. Jeremy Renner?
Jeremy Renner.
There it is. I remembered it. I would like to say before he looked it up, so
it's not
even on there. So Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams play the main 2 characters.
It's a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was 100% at one point because they were making a big deal about it. It's like this bunch of these alien spaceships essentially just come down. There's 12 of them across the planet, and
Was that Forrest Whitaker?
Yep.
How many space movies is he in right now?
He's in a lot of space movies.
Cut it out.
She's tasked with translating the language, and it has some like mind-bendy things about it, where you have to kind of think about.
Is it really only an hour? 58 minutes?
That's not true. 1 hour 58 minutes.
Okay. I'm like, there's no way.
At the end of it, I left and I had to think. There was there's some like burning questions. So there's questions that it just brings up to anybody who watches it.
Yeah.
Like, would you do this similar thing in a situation?
Don't spoil it. I'm going to see it.
I'm not going to spoil it. But there's just like some general questions. Like, if you had this opportunity, would you take it?
Yeah.
And I discussed that with the person I went with. And
who was that?
My girlfriend. I discussed it with my girlfriend. And
oh my gosh, shout out.
Hey, what's up, girl? She's not watching this, probably. I think she tried to listen to one, and it was like too specific. She couldn't get into it. Either way.
She could listen to the one where I did with my wife, the girl one.
I actually suggested that one. I don't know if she saw it, if she listened to it yet. Either way, I went with her. We talked about it. Talked about some of the questions it brings up. But then I started thinking about the movie itself, and there are some things that I want to discuss with you when you see it.
So maybe next week?
Yeah, maybe next week if you're going to see it this week.
Cool.
Also saw Fantastic Beasts and Where They Came From as well, but that can be another day. Too.
Fantastic Beasts and Where Are They?
And Where They Are. Yep.
Was that as good? Was that a good Harry Potter movie?
It was good in a different way than Arrival. I would say it ranks better than the first few. I think the first 2 Harry Potter movies I really didn't enjoy that much.
Yeah, that's fair. 3 is when they introduced time travel, and you're like, ooh.
I would probably rank them above 1 and 2, but I also have only seen them all
There's supposed to be 5 movies of Fantastic Beasts movies.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh well, I felt like it ended on a pretty indie note.
Oh well.
And not indie as in independent artist, but it ended well.
A good conclusion.
Yeah, complete. Oh my gosh, there's such a twist. Oh, I can't say it though.
There's a twist?
Sort of. I mean, not really a twist. It's more like audience is like, oh, that's so funny. I can't believe they just did that.
It's all a dream.
No. This isn't Lost, okay?
That's all pensive.
Yeah.
Somebody's memory.
Are you going to see it?
I haven't decided.
Do you care to see it? Do you care if I reveal one thing about it?
Is it the big twist at the end?
I mean, it's kind of a funny twist. It is
I don't...
at the climax.
Okay, you can tell me.
Okay.
You can tell the audience. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, guys. The evil bad guy...
You gotta talk quietly, because I don't know if my wife...
The evil bad guy at the end...
It's Voldemort. Harry Potter.
Is Johnny Depp.
Oh.
The entire time you think it's this one guy, and then he's disguised himself and it's Johnny Depp, and it's so funny because he's only in for like 5 seconds at the end of the movie. It's so funny. The way it happens too is kind of funny.
Good old 21 Jump Street. Disagree.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
That's our rousing discussion for this week, I believe.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to tweet us at UP Gamers Podcast.
Look here.
Yeah.
At UP Gamers Podcast
is the
correct.
whole.
Now look here.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, we have. Mostly Tony, but I have done some things too. A couple.
So YouTube.
Yeah, another thing.
Underpaid Gamers.
Underpaid Gamers. Check us out.
Go there for all of our things.
You need to right now look it up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sub it up, yo. Help us out.
We also are on SoundCloud and iTunes and Google Play.
Mm-hmm.
We have an email, underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. It's a long one.
It is, but it's there.
But it's easy to spell.
It is. Do we want to talk about future event in vague details because we haven't hammered out the details yet, or do you want to wait for next week?
Dude, let's wait for next week and hammer out the details.
Okay, so there's a little bit of foreshadowing. Oh, big surprise next week to talk about. Ooh. I'm using my ghosty voice.
There you
go. I don't know if you guys can tell. Probably good.
Fun.
Yep.
So
that's all I got.
That's all we got.
We'll see you guys.
So hopefully next week we'll have an arrival our arrival review. Oh my gosh, you see what I did there?
I did. Wow.
It'll be fantastic. And where can you find it?
I don't know. Probably
here.
Next to the Beast is... Okay, sweet. All right, bye guys.
You better watch for that, dog.
Check it out.
2.
You're trying real hard right now.
It's going to be a real fantasy, but not the final one.
You're going in uncharted waters right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
We're done.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.